The mind, my friends, is the most powerful tool you possess. It's the key to unlocking your potential, the foundation of your success, and the secret weapon that separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Today, we're going to delve into the heart of what it truly means to be mentally strong. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is mental strength? Well, let me tell you, it's not about being tough as nails or never feeling fear. No, mental strength is about resilience, adaptability, and the unwavering determination to push forward even when the odds are stacked against you. Imagine for a moment two trees standing side by side. One is rigid, unyielding, its branches stiff and unbending. The other sways gently in the breeze, its limbs flexible, its roots deep. When a storm comes, and believe me in life, storms always come, which tree do you think will survive? The rigid one that refuses to bend, or the one that adapts to the wind? Mental strength is about being that second tree. It's about having the flexibility to adapt to life's challenges while remaining rooted in your core values and beliefs. Now I want you to think about the last time you faced a significant challenge. How did you react? Did you crumble under the pressure, or did you rise to meet it head on? The truth is, your reaction in that moment was a reflection of your mental strength. But here's the good news. Mental strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you can develop, cultivate, and strengthen over time. Just like a muscle, the more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. So, how do we build this mental strength? Well, it starts with your daily habits. You see, success isn't about making one big decision. It's about the 1,000 little decisions you make every single day. Let's talk about discipline for a moment. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's what gets you out of bed at 5 a.m. and hit the gym when everyone else is still sleeping. It's what keeps you working on your business plan long after others have called it quits for the day. But discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about doing the right thing even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. I remember a young man who came to me once complaining about his lack of success. He said, "I've tried everything, but nothing seems to work." I asked him to walk me through his typical day. As he described his routine, it became clear that he was living reactively, not proactively. He was letting life happen to him instead of making life happen. I told him, "Young man, success is not a destination, it's a journey. And that journey begins with taking control of your day." I challenged him to start his mornings with purpose, to set goals, to read, to exercise, to feed his mind with positive thoughts before the world could fill it with negativity. 3 months later, he came back to me a changed man. His entire demeanor had shifted. He stood taller, spoke with more confidence, and radiated a sense of purpose. He told me, "I never realized how much power I had over my own life until I started taking control of my mornings." You see, mental strength begins with these small daily habits. It's about creating a routine that nourishes your mind, body, and spirit. It's about setting goals and holding yourself accountable. It's about facing your fears and pushing past your comfort zone. Now let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is one of the greatest obstacles to mental strength. But here's a secret. Fear is often just false evidence appearing real. It's our mind playing tricks on us, creating worst-case scenarios that rarely, if ever, come to pass. I want you to think about something you're afraid of right now. Maybe it's public speaking, maybe it's starting your own business, maybe it's asking that special someone out on a date. Whatever it is, I want you to ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And then ask yourself, can I handle that? More often than not, you'll find that even the worst case scenario is something you can handle. And once you realize that, the fear begins to lose its power over you. Mental strength is about facing those fears head on. It's about understanding that growth and comfort cannot coexist. If you want to grow, if you want to become stronger, you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone. I once knew a woman who had a crippling fear of public speaking. The mere thought of standing in front of an audience made her palms sweat and her heart race. But she knew that to advance in her career, She needed to overcome this fear. So what did she do? She joined a local Toastmasters club. At first, she could barely introduce herself without stammering, but she kept showing up week after week. She practiced, she prepared, she pushed herself to volunteer for speaking opportunity. 6 months later, she gave a presentation to her company's board of directors. Was she nervous? Of course. But she channeled that nervous energy into enthusiasm for her topic. She delivered her presentation with confidence and poise. That's mental strength in action. It's not about eliminating fear. It's about learning to dance with it. Now let's talk about failure. In our society, we're often taught to fear failure, to avoid it at all costs. But here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every successful person you admire has failed countless times. The difference is they didn't let those failures define them. They used them as stepping stones, as learning opportunities. Mental strength is about reframing failure. It's about seeing it not as an end, but as a beginning. It's about asking yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow stronger? I remember talking to a young entrepreneur who had just experienced his first major business failure. He was devastated, ready to give up on his dreams. I asked him, if you could go back and do it all over again, knowing what you know now, would you do things differently? He thought for a moment and said, of course. I'd avoided all the mistakes I made. I smiled and said, exactly. And that's the value of failure. It's taught you lessons you couldn't have learned any other way. Now imagine how much stronger and wiser you'll be in your next venture. You see, mental strength isn't about avoiding failure. It's about embracing it, learning from it, and using it as fuel to propel you forward. Now let's talk about perspective. Your perspective, the way you view the world and your place in it, has a profound impact on your mental strength. Imagine two people stuck in traffic. One is fuming, pounding on the steering wheel, cursing at other drivers. The other is calmly listening to an audiobook, using the unexpected delay as an opportunity to learn something new. Same situation, completely different reactions. The difference, perspective. Mental strength is about cultivating a perspective that serves you. It's about choosing to see opportunities instead of obstacles, lessons instead of losses. I once met a man who had lost everything in a natural disaster. His home, his business, all of his material possessions, gone in an instant. When I asked him how he was coping, his response astounded me. He said, you know, at first I was devastated, but then I realized something. I still have my health. I still have my family. I still have my skills and my knowledge. And now I have the opportunity to rebuild everything better than before. In a strange way, this disaster has given me a fresh start. That, my friends, is the power of perspective. It's the ability to find the silver lining, even in the darkest of clouds. Mental strength is also about taking responsibility for your life. It's easy to blame others for our problems, to point fingers at circumstances beyond our control. But the truth is, while we can't always control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. I want you to think about an area of your life where you feel stuck. Maybe it's your career, your relationships, your health. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what am I pretending not to know? What actions am I not taking? You see, often the answers we seek are already within us. We just need the courage to face them and the mental strength to act on them. Remember, knowledge isn't power. Knowledge is only potential power. It's the application of knowledge that brings real change. I once worked with a man who had been complaining about his job for years. He was underpaid, underappreciated, and unfulfilled. When I asked him why he stayed, he had a litany of excuses. The job market is tough, he'd say. I'm too old to start over, he'd claim. Finally, I challenged him. I said, for the next 30 days, I want you to spend 1 hour each day working on your resume, researching other companies, or learning a new skill. Can you commit to that? Reluctantly, he agreed. And you know what happened? Within 2 months, he had landed a new job that paid better and aligned more closely with his passions. The opportunities had always been there. He just needed the mental strength. Now, let's talk about the power of your inner dialogue. The conversations you have with yourself are perhaps the most important conversations you'll ever have. They shape your beliefs, your actions, and ultimately your reality. Mental strength is about mastering this inner dialogue. It's about being your own biggest cheerleader, not your harshest critic. It's about replacing "I can't" with "how can I?" I'm not good enough with "I'm learning and growing every day." I want you to pay attention to your thoughts for the next 24 hours. Every time you catch yourself thinking something negative, I want you to pause and ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Is it bringing me closer to my goals or pushing me further away? If it's not serving you, replace it with a thought that does. It might feel unnatural at first, even a bit forced. But remember, we're not aiming for perfection. We're aiming for progress. Brings me to another crucial aspect of mental strength or gratitude. In a world that's constantly telling us we need more, that we're not enough, gratitude is a revolutionary act. Gratitude isn't about ignoring life's challenges. It's about acknowledging them while still appreciating the good in your life. It's about understanding that every day, no matter how tough, brings with it gifts if we have the eyes to see them. I challenge you to start and end each day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. Maybe it's the warmth of the sun on your face, a kind word from a stranger, or the simple fact that you're alive and breathing. This practice does 2 things. First, it trains your mind to look for the positive even in difficult situations. Second, it reminds you of the abundance that already exists in your life. Now, let's talk about the importance of continuous learning. The world is changing at an unprecedented pace. What was relevant yesterday might be obsolete tomorrow. Mental strength is about staying curious, staying hungry for knowledge. I want you to ask yourself, what have I learned this week, this month, this year? If you're struggling to answer, it's time to recommit to your personal growth. Read books, listen to podcasts, attend seminars, seek out mentors. Remember, the person you'll be 5 years from now depends on the books you read and the people you surround yourself with today. Speaking of the people you surround yourself with, let's talk about the importance of your environment. You've probably heard the saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. There's a lot of truth to that. Mental strength is about being intentional with your relationships. It's about surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and bring out the best in you. Take a moment to think about the people in your life. Are they lifting you up or pulling you down? Or are they encouraging your dreams or dismissing them? Remember, you have the power to choose your association. Now, I'm not saying you should cut people out of your life callously, but you can certainly be more intentional about who you give your time and energy to. Seek out relationships that nourish your soul and challenge you to grow. Let's talk about the power of goal setting. Mental strength isn't just about dealing with what life throws at you. It's also about actively creating the life you want. I want you to think big. What do you want your life to look like in 5 years? In 10 years? Don't censor yourself. Don't worry about being realistic. Dream big. Now, here's where mental strength comes in. It's not enough to just have dreams. You need to turn those dreams into goals and those goals into plans. Break your big goals down into smaller, actionable steps. What can you do this year to move closer to your 5-year goal? What can you do this month to move closer to your 1-year goal? What can you do today? Mental strength is about taking consistent action towards your goals, even when you don't see immediate results. It's about trusting the process and having faith in your ability to figure things out along the way. Remember, success is never a straight line. There will be setbacks, detours, and unexpected challenges. But with mental strength, you'll have the resilience to keep moving forward. Now let's talk about the importance of self-care. In our hustle culture, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that mental strength means pushing yourself to the limit, burning the candle at both ends. But true mental strength understands the importance of rest and renewal. It's about working hard, yes, but also about knowing when to pause and recharge. Make time for activities that nourish your soul. Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's spending time in nature, maybe it's pursuing a hobby you love. Whatever it is, prioritize it. Your mental strength depends on it. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary. It's what allows you to show up fully in all areas of your life. Let's talk about the power of commitment. In a world of instant gratification, the ability to commit to long-term goals is becoming increasingly rare and increasingly valuable. Mental strength is about making commitments and keeping them, especially when it's difficult. It's about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're not seeing immediate results. I want you to think about a goal you've been putting off. Maybe it's writing a book, maybe it's starting a business, maybe it's getting in shape. Whatever it is, I want you to commit to it right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Make a plan. Break it down into small, manageable steps, and then take the first step today. Remember, you don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. Now, let's talk about the importance of flexibility. Mental strength isn't about being rigid or stubborn. It's about having a clear vision of where you want to go, but being flexible about how you get there. The world is unpredictable. Plans will change. Obstacles will arise. Mental strength is about adapting to these changes without losing sight of your ultimate goal. Think of it like a GPS system. When you take a wrong turn, it doesn't give up and tell you to go home. It simply recalculates and finds a new route. That's what mental strength allows you to do in life. Let's talk about the power of habits. Your life today is essentially the sum of your habits. How you think, how you feel, how you work, how you relax, these are all habits. Mental strength is about cultivating habits that serve you. It's about replacing destructive habits with constructive ones. Start small. Maybe it's waking up 15 minutes earlier to meditate. Maybe it's replacing one unhealthy snack with a healthy one. Maybe it's spending 10 minutes each day learning a new skill. Remember, these small habits compound over time. They might not seem like much on any given day, but over weeks, months, and years, they can lead to dramatic changes in your life. Now, let's talk about the importance of mindfulness. In our fast-paced, constantly connected world, the ability to be present in the moment is becoming a rare and valuable skill. Mental strength is about being able to focus your attention where you choose, rather than being at the mercy of every thought, emotion, or external stimulus that comes your way. Practice being fully present in whatever you're doing. When you're eating, just eat. When you're listening to someone, really listen. When you're working, give it your full. This mindfulness not only increases your effectiveness in whatever you're doing, but it also helps you maintain a sense of calm and control, even in challenging situations. Let's talk about the power of your words. The language you use, both in your self-talk and in your communication with others, has a profound impact on your mental strength. Choose your words carefully. Instead of saying, I have to, say, I get to. Instead of, I can't, say, I haven't yet. These small shifts in language can create big shifts in your mindset. Remember, your words create your reality. Speak about yourself and your life in a way that empowers you, not in a way that limits you. Now, let's talk about the importance of taking action. Knowledge is important, but it's not enough. Mental strength is about turning that knowledge into action. Don't wait for perfect conditions. They rarely come. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Remember, action cures fear. The more you take action, the more confident you become. and the stronger your mental resolve grows. Talk about the power of visualization. Your mind doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined event and a real one. Mental strength involves harnessing this power to your advantage. Spend time each day visualizing your success. See yourself achieving your goals, overcoming obstacles, living the life you desire. Make these visualizations as detailed and vivid as possible. Engage all your senses. This isn't about daydreaming or wishful thinking. It's about programming your subconscious mind for success, creating a clear mental image of where you're going. Now let's discuss the importance of emotional intelligence. Mental strength isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about understanding and managing them effectively. Learn to recognize your emotional triggers. Understand the difference between reacting and responding. Develop the ability to pause between stimulus and response, giving yourself the space to choose your actions rather than being driven by impulse. Remember, emotions are neither good nor bad. They're simply information. The key is learning how to interpret and use that information to your advantage. Let's talk about the power of forgiveness. Holding on to anger, resentment, or bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It only hurts you. Mental strength is about having the courage to forgive, not for the sake of others, but for your own peace of mind. It's about understanding that forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what happened. It means freeing yourself from the burden of negative emotion. This includes forgiving yourself. We all make mistakes. Mental strength is about learning from those mistakes rather than beating yourself up over them. Now, let's discuss the importance of patience. In our instant gratification culture, the ability to delay gratification is becoming a superpower. Mental strength is about understanding that good things take time. It's about being willing to put in the work day after day, even when you're not seeing immediate results. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't plant the seed one day and expect to sit in the shade the next. It takes time, nurturing, and patience. But if you stick with it, eventually you'll have a strong, mighty tree that provides shade for generations to come. Let's talk about the power of focus. In a world full of distractions, the ability to focus deeply on one task is becoming increasingly rare and valuable. Mental strength is about developing the ability to concentrate your efforts on what truly matters. It's about saying no to the good so you can say yes to the great. Practice single tasking. When you're working on something important, eliminate distractions. Turn off notifications, find a quiet space, and give that task your full attention. Remember, where focus goes, energy flows. By concentrating your efforts, you can achieve far more than you ever thought possible. Now let's discuss the importance of resilience. Life will knock you down. That's a given. Mental strength is about how quickly you get back up. Develop the ability to bounce back from setbacks. See challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. Remember, it's not about how hard you can hit, but how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Let's talk about the power of your environment. Your surroundings have a profound impact on your mental state and your ability to stay strong. Create an environment that supports your goals and nurtures your mental strength. This might mean decluttering your physical space, curating your social media feeds to include more positive and inspiring content, or even changing your social circle to include more supportive and motivated individuals. Remember, you are the architect of your life. Design it intentionally. Now, let's discuss the importance of self-awareness. Mental strength begins with understanding yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your values, and your motivations. Take time for self-reflection. Ask yourself tough questions. Be honest with yourself about where you are and where you want to be. This self-awareness is the foundation upon which you can build true mental strength. Let's talk about the power of purpose. Having a clear sense of purpose can provide the motivation and resilience needed to overcome even the toughest challenges. What gets you out of bed in the morning? What would you do even if you weren't paid for it? What impact do you want to have on the world? These are the questions that can help you uncover your purpose. Remember, mental strength isn't just about being tough. It's about being driven by something great. Now let's discuss the importance of boundaries. Mental strength involves knowing your limits and being able to communicate them effectively to others. Learn to say no to things that don't align with your values or goals. Protect your time and energy. Remember, every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Let's talk about the power of consistency. It's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, but what we do consistently. Mental strength is about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the small things consistently that add up to big results over time. Remember, we don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. Create systems and routines that support your mental strength. Now, let's discuss the importance of embracing discomfort. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. Mental strength is about being willing to be uncomfortable in the pursuit of your goals. Challenge yourself regularly. Do things that scare you. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in the face of fear. Let's talk about the power of your network. You've heard the saying, your network is your net worth. This applies not just to your financial wealth, but to your mental wealth as well. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and support your growth. Seek out mentors. Join mastermind groups. Remember, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Now let's discuss the importance of celebrating small wins. Mental strength isn't just about pushing through challenges. It's also about acknowledging and celebrating your progress along the way. Take time to recognize your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. This positive reinforcement can provide the motivation and confidence needed to tackle bigger challenges. Let's talk about the power of curiosity. Mental strength involves maintaining a beginner's mind, always being open to learning and growth. Ask questions, challenge assumptions. Be willing to admit when you don't know something. Remember, the moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. Now, let's discuss the importance of physical health. Your mind and body are intimately connected. Taking care of your physical health is crucial for maintaining mental strength. Exercise regularly, eat nutritious food, get enough sleep. These may seem basic, but they form the foundation upon which mental strength is built. Let's talk about the power of giving. Mental strength isn't just about what you can achieve for yourself. It's also about what you can contribute to others. Find ways to give back. Volunteer, mentor others. Share your knowledge. Remember, the more you give, the more you receive. Now, let's discuss the importance of adaptability. In our rapidly changing world, the ability to adapt is crucial for mental strength. Be willing to change your approach when something isn't working. Stay open to new ideas and perspectives. Remember, it's not the strongest or the most intelligent who survive, but those who are most adaptable to change. Let's talk about the power of reflection. Mental strength involves taking time to pause and reflect on your experiences, learning from both your successes and your failures. Set aside time regularly to review your progress, reassess your goals, and recalibrate your approach if necessary. Remember, reflection turns experience into insight. Now let's discuss the importance of integrity. Mental strength is built on a foundation of strong values and principles. Be true to your word. Do what you say you're going to do. Live in alignment with your values. Remember, integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Let's talk about the power of imagination. Your ability to imagine new possibilities is key to developing mental strength. Don't be limited by what's been done before. Think outside the box. Ask what-if questions. Remember, everything around you was once just an idea in someone's mind. Now, let's discuss the importance of balance. Mental strength isn't about being on all the time. It's about knowing when to push and when to rest. Find balance between work and play, between striving and accepting, between seriousness and levity. Remember, life is not just about the destination. It's also about the journey. Let's talk about the power of your mindset. Your beliefs about yourself and the world around you have a profound impact on your mental strength. Cultivate a growth mindset. Believe in your ability to learn and improve. See challenges as opportunities for growth. Remember, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Now let's discuss the importance of authenticity. Mental strength involves being true to yourself even when it's difficult. Don't try to be someone you're not. Embrace your unique qualities and quirks. Remember, you were born an original. Don't die a copy. Let's talk about the power of persistence. Mental strength is about staying committed to your goals, even in the face of setbacks and disappointments. Develop grit. Stay focused on your long-term objectives. Remember, many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Now let's discuss the importance of self-discipline. Mental strength involves being able to control your thoughts, emotions, and develop routines and habits that support your goals. Learn to delay gratification. Remember, discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Let's talk about the power of acceptance. Mental strength involves accepting what you cannot change while having the courage to change what you can. Practice acceptance of yourself, others, and circumstances beyond your control. Remember, acceptance is not about giving up, but about freeing up energy to focus on what you can influence. Now, let's discuss the importance of continuous improvement. Mental strength is not a destination, but a journey of ongoing growth and development. Always look for ways to improve, to learn, to become better. Remember, the moment you think you've arrived is the moment you begin to decline. In conclusion, mental strength is not about being perfect or never experiencing difficulty. It's about developing the resilience, the mindset, and the habits that allow you to navigate life's challenges with grace and determination. It's about getting back up when you fall, learning from your mistakes, and continuing to move forward towards your goals. It's about cultivating a deep belief in yourself and your abilities while remaining humble and open to learning. Remember, becoming mentally strong is a journey, not a destination. It's something you work on every day through small actions and decisions. It's about progress, not perfection. So I challenge you. It's starting today. Commit to strengthening your mind. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Cultivate habits that serve you. Surround yourself with positive influences. Believe in yourself and your ability to create the life you desire. You have within you everything you need to become mentally strong. The power is in your hands. The choice is yours. Will you rise to the challenge? Will you commit to becoming the best version of yourself? Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today. Your future self will thank you.